So when I first learnt CLL, it was quite difficult for me, and that's why I kind of had to come up with my own techniques for learning it, because just reading through the owls, splitting them up into like RU, R prime stuff, that didn't work for me, and for anyone who does that, that may not be working for you either. And so I'm going to explain to you the process which I think is the easiest way to go about learning full CLL. Quick disclaimer, just never learn bad algorithms. Trust me, you'll regret it. If you're learning CLL to get fast, then why would you ever use a slower algorithm? You're not making yourself faster by doing that. Now, this doesn't mean you have to use the algorithm everyone else uses, and like an example of that would be this case, which the majority of people will do like this. I don't even know how the alg goes, I can't do it. But I can't do that. I can't do that alg. And the alg I use goes like this, and you know, different things work for different people. So there are a few resources. So there's siretheking.com, which overall I'd say has good algs, and you should definitely give them a try, because he's got multiple for most of them, unless there's one that's just genuinely the best. But there's also a spreadsheet by lots of the fastest 2x2ers, like Will Callan for example, and it's just called best 2x2 algs, and that just has like at least 2 algs for every single CLL, and not just CLL, it has like EG1, EG2, TCLL, LEG1, TEG2 and LS, which are things barely anyone has really researched into. But yeah, so that's quite a good thing just to make a copy of and check out. So have good algs, and that's going to help you in the long run. Next tip is to know the order you're going to learn them in. Now, my best recommendation is to start off with the H cases, because you can get this set done quite easily in a day, and because it's only 4 algorithms, and of course one of which will be your OLL anyway. So you're learning 3 new algorithms as opposed to 5, and that's going to really help. But I'll show you how simple the algorithms are to learn. Here are the 4 algorithms. There's the standard OLL. For this, lots of people do the F triple sexy F prime thing, but personally what I suggest is take this corner out and insert it with a hedge slammer, and then repeat that. I'm not going to do it on that key because it's slow, but it's just a faster alg in general. For this one, you start off like a soon, and then instead of doing U2 you just do another U, and then this is here, you insert that with a hedge as well. That's very nice. And then this one, you've kind of just got to memorise the algorithm, but it's just an easy one to learn anyway. And that one works really well for the finger tricks. Another thing is then moving on to the pi set, and this is because this is the other set that's really easy to recognise, and so when you actually get them in solves after learning them, you'll be able to do the correct alg. And so you're looking at, just like with the H case, just like with the H cases, you're only looking at the 4 on top, whereas something like L, where you have to look at like this one and these 2, it can be a bit more confusing. So that's quite useful. And yeah, what was I going to say? Oh yeah, the algorithms for these are quite nice as well. So a tip for this set is stuff like, I'm not sure if everyone does these like this, but for me, I just, for these 2 with the slash, which are the hardest to recognise, but it's got a slash of colour kind of because for this one I use this alg, and you could do for this one you either learn the mirror or like the mirror or inverse. So the inverse I don't actually know, but the mirror is pretty fast for me. And these algs are generally quite nice. 2 of them are inverts, so like this case is just the opposite of this. So since you ended with a hedge, you're doing a sledgehammer and then like inversing the moves you started with. And same with this case. It's the mirror of this alg, but you only really change one move, which is this one from a U prime to a U. So one move changes, and then so that leaves you with only actually having to learn 2 algorithms for that set. After this is literally your choice how you learn them. When it comes to recognition, the next easiest will be T and U, and L I think is also just as easy. But when it comes to the actual algorithms, Soon has really nice algorithms. So like the thing I showed you earlier where you take this out and insert it with a hedge slammer, this is a really useful case. And it's good to have the recognition for Soon anyway, which isn't as hard, which is a lot harder than the other ones, but once you get it down it's really not that difficult. So for here I recognise when I've got 2 opposite colours at the top of Soon, well I just call that the top. If these ones, well, I'll set up both cases actually. If these two are the same, so like the further away one is the same, you can use that algorithm. Or like here, where these two are the same, the close one instead, I can do like an inverse hedge slammer, right? Yeah, inverse sledgehammer, and then U2 and just insert the piece. And then anti-Soon is just as easy to learn because you literally only have to learn 1 new alg because the other ones can all be done with mirrors or inverses. So like since I mean I know 2 algs most of these, I'll show you the other one as well. So like because I use this RU, R prime U, sledgehammer, insert that, I know I can do RU to R prime, inverse sledgehammer, and then just insert a piece like that. And then, well, this is also a nice alg to learn because it's pretty finger tricky, but there's no pressure to learn that. And the only alg you really need to learn in that case is this one. Well, that's the alg I use. I didn't execute it that well. But overall, that leaves you only having to really learn. If you get rid of mirrors and inverses, you need to learn maybe like 4 algorithms. And after that, you'll know all the algorithms, but then it's a case of not forgetting the algorithms. Right, I'm going to show you my trick for not forgetting the algorithms. Ignore my 4x4 thing. So I should have some empty session. Right. So what you can do on here, so up at the top, you can do 2x2 and EG0. And the numbers for EG are the amount of adjacent swaps on the bottom, so 0 is CLL. And this will give you CLL with scramble. Now, the reason I practice like this is because you're practicing 2 things at once. You're practicing your execution of the algorithms and your recognition of the algorithms, because with CLL you're not exactly going to be one looking that much. So here I'll do the scramble, immediately do the CLL, and I'll time it. So I'll go to a that was a bit of a fail there. But you get the point, and you can just do this for like 100 solves at a time and just get them down until you can recognise and execute really fast. The recognition system is harder than learning the algorithms, and just getting it really in your head and doing lots of solves, making sure to apply them. Just never, once you've learnt the algorithms, you should never do PLL again unless you get an OLL skip. And because of that, I'm done. Progressing on from this, you can literally apply the same tactics to, like, EG beyond this. Well, this is just the basis of how I learned CLL, and it worked quite effectively, and you can easily get it down quite fast, so yeah.